Citing and quoting series. Citing and quoting series. In this Comcast, we'll cover the following topics: how to use an ellipsis mark correctly, and how to use square brackets. The ellipsis mark. The ellipsis mark is used when a writer wants to let the reader know that a word or phrase has been left out. Now remember that a quotation mark is your guarantee as a writer that everything enclosed within the marks is exactly what was written in the text that you are quoting. So it's important that you tell your reader, by using an ellipsis mark, that you have left something out. So let's look at an example here. The original text, Cope, introduced scientific principles of fairness and developed a set of flowcharts specifically dealing with misconduct, has two pieces of information here: the scientific principles of fairness and the development of flowcharts. But what if I just needed the information about the development of flowcharts, and I didn't want my reader to be confused with the other parts about the scientific principles? Well, that's why we use the ellipsis mark. It tells the reader that there are other words in the original quote, but the words aren't significant to the point that I'm trying to make. Remember, when you use an ellipsis mark, you mustn't change the ideas of the original text. You are just narrowing the focus of the quotation for your reader. Also, if you take out material from between two sentences, you need to use 4 points, like I've done here, the last point representing a period. Square brackets. Square brackets are the opposite of an ellipsis. That is, an ellipsis tells your reader that you took out words from a quote, whereas square brackets tell the reader that you are putting something extra into the quote so that your reader may better understand it. So why would you want to do that? It might be as simple as putting in some background information in the quote so your reader can better understand the quote. You might have to change the tense to match the tense that you are writing in the paragraph. Or you might have to change the punctuation of the original quote. Let's look at just a couple examples of how you can use square brackets. In the original text by Zaffron, a study was explained that looked at students who attended a library workshop. The particular sentence that I chose to quote here uses the pronoun many to stand in for students who attended a library workshop. So in my quote, to help my reader understand and to better support my thesis, I have put in square brackets to tell my reader exactly who the many refers to. The next quote that I took directly from an article by Roig shows how he had to change the capitalization from a capital P to a small case p to make a grammatically correct sentence. It looks like Elsevier, the original author, started a sentence with plagiarism takes many forms, but Roig wanted to include a signal phrase, so plagiarism takes many forms gets moved to the end of the sentence and thereby doesn't need the capital, and so Roig had to change it to a small case p. It may seem persnickety to have as little as one letter in a square bracket, but remember that you want your writing to reflect that you are detailed, organized, and that you have integrity, and indicating that change to the quote tells your reader that you can be trusted. Here are the content references that we used in this Comcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the next Comcast on how to use indirect quotes.